So our next job is when the doing background has finished doing its work, it's gone to the web server, it's found out all the data, it's all been passed back, and then there's a sort of little trigger saying, oh, I've finished. It's going to pass that information back to be used in the program. It's going to be passed back by this third parameter here. If we remember, if I type A there, it's the result section here, and we're going to pick that up. What we need to do is have another function, or have another method, sorry, which again is protected. Now these words protected, public and private, they really are going to be explained a lot when you come to use object-oriented programming. I'm not going to go into them at the moment, just you just have to accept what we've got here for the time being. It's protected. Now in this one, in doing background, it had a return value and it returned null, and the return value was a string. Okay, so it did all of its work. It passed in a string, which would be the website, did all of its work, and then it had a return value, and at the moment it's returning null, so it's a null string, but the type of it is string. This method, there's going to be no return value at all. It's not going to be a type string, integer, or anything else. It's just going to be nothing at all. And to say that, I need to have the word void, so it has nothing. So we're not going to return anything back to the program or anywhere else. It's just going to happily die and not do anything else. So void on post execute. So when we have finished the execution, it's going to take the result, string result. So it's going to pass this value into here. Okay, and then we can have whatever we're going to do. So when we've finished executing, it's going to finish up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my log and I'm going to paste it in there. Okay, so now we're returning nothing at all. We're not passing in anything, that's going to be nothing. But what's going to happen when we're going to know this is finished doing it in the background, because it's going to call this method, and we'll know that's true because it should print out it seems to be working. And let's just make sure that we've got some value in here that is different to before. Post execute. So that will tell me that this has actually worked and I'm not picking up anything from previous. So that's another method. We are going to be populating the text field with all of our JSON data in here. It's going to get the JSON data here from the website. It's going to pass it into here, and that's going to write it on the screen. So that's going to be our next activity. But for now, let's just see this in action. Hopefully it's going to work. So let's get the emulator up. It really does take a long time. I think we're about there. There we go. So now my emulator is working. I'm going to press this button, which is going to be this piece of the code. It's going to execute it. It's going to pass it into here. And then the return value, which is just underneath there, is going to be passed into here. And then this message should be out. And there we go. We've got post execute. It seems to be working. Okay. So press it again. So every time I start it, it's doing a job. When it's finished doing the job, it comes down to here and it prints out that value. So what we need to do now is to, first of all, tell it the job. Now that's going to be rather a large task, so I will come to that at the very end. But I might handle what happens with this post execute beforehand. We just need to put a message on the screen so that we can overwrite the JSON text will appear here. So that's going to be our next task. If I stop that.